Good day, everyone. My name is Darby Lee, and I will be reporting to you the importance and classification of roads. So now, let's proceed to the PowerPoint presentation.
So once again, good evening everyone. Importance and classification of roads. So for the topics that we will tackle in this evening is highway development and planning. The subtopics would be necessity of highway planning, classification of roads, which is under it are types of roads, methods of classification of roads by Nagpur Plan, modified classification of road system by Third Road Development Plan, 1981 to the 2001. Lastly is the classification of urban roads. So first, we'll be going to discuss necessity of highway planning. Highway planning is also a necessary component of highway construction. In today's era, planning is a needed requirement before making it into reality. Planning is necessary especially when the budget of a certain projects are limited. This is the time that we are able to adjust the cost of the project and open it for any possible upgrades in the future. So highway planning is necessary because every country is developing. Like here in the Philippines, there are places that is developing and the need of highway planning is a must in order to prepare for the future. This just means that we need to prepare everything before making it into reality so that we can avoid unnecessary mistakes and failures in the construction of highways or roads. We cannot deny the fact that there will always be mistakes in making roads, but with the help of highway planning, we can lessen it, especially when the budget is limited. Failures are also limited. So, in order to fulfill these objectives, highway planning has principles to be kept in mind. And these are first, to design a road network that would allow for effective and safe traffic operation at a low cost. The expenses of pavement layer creation, maintenance, and replacement as well as vehicle operation costs must be all taken into account. This just states that when we design a road network, we need to know everything that is affected by this network. When we say everything, that includes the cost operation of how it will benefit the traffic. It also includes the expenses for future improvements and maintenance because as years goes by, roads are prone to damages and there is a need to preserve its maintenance because it will be used for public. So next is to determine the road system and lengths of various kinds of roads that would give the most utility and could be built within the planned period's available resources. This just states that there is a need of determining the road and lengths of different roads in order to classify it on which would be needed to develop according to plans that has been made, also dependent with the available resources. So third is for a given design era, planning for future development and projected traffic demands. This just states that future developments depend on what is already planned for the future in terms of traffic demands, with proper adjustments also. We need to keep in mind that somewhat we can see that there are a lot of areas that has been constructed first before others. That is because engineers that plan it is taking into account what could be better way solution in every situation of traffic demands. It will all depend on what is planned and what would benefit the many. So fourth is in the view of expected changes, prepare for future requirements and road upgrade. So this just means that future developments are foreseen by engineers that plan these projects. That is why they plan also for future improvements of road because there is a need to expect the unexpected, especially that the population is also getting higher. Improvements of roads is a must. That is why Engineers need to always have rooms for improvements in planning roads. Lastly would be developing a finance structure that is cost effective and benefits oriented. So like any other projects, the cost of construction must be taken into consideration that is able that it is able to be effective and benefit public because it would be for public use. So the next topic would be types of roads. The different types of roads are classified into categories depending on whether they can be used during different seasons of the year. So first is all-weather roads. Those roads which are negotiable during all weathers except at major river crossings where interruption of traffic is permissible up to a certain extent are called all-weather roads. And the other one would be fair weather roads. Roads which are negotiable only during fair weather are called fair weather roads. Next, based on the type of carriage, way, or road pavement, the roads are classified as these two things: paved roads and unpaved roads. If they are provided with a hard pavement course, such as roads are called paved roads. Roads which are not provided with a hard course of at least a WBM layer, they are called unpaved roads. Thus, earth and gravel roads come under this category. Next is, based on the type of pavement surfacing provided, the road types are divided into two as well. These are surface roads and unsurfaced roads. Roads which are provided with a bituminous or cement concreting surface are called surface roads. Roads which are not provided with bituminous or cement concreting surface are called unsurfaced roads. Next would be methods of classification of roads. The roads will be generally classified on the following basis. So first would be traffic volume, next would be load transported or tonnage, and lastly would be location and function. So first for the traffic volume, for the types of roads who are it is categorized into how many vehicles it has per day. So very traffic roads are above 600, while the lowest would be light traffic loads below 70. So for load transported tonnage, first very heavy traffic roads are above 1,524 per day, and the lowest would be 508 for the light traffic roads. So third, location and function. The classification based on location and function should be therefore a more acceptable classification for a country as they may be defined clearly. The Nagpur Road Plan classified roads in India based on location and function into the following five categories described. The first road development plan, or Nagpur Plan, was formulated in 1943. After independence, the first 5-year plan, 1951 to 56, classified roads into national highways, state highways, district roads, and village roads. So for these, we'll tackle first the national highways. National highways National highways are the principal highways that span the length and width of India, connecting major cities, state capitals, and important industrial tourism centers, as well as other routes essential for India's defense. It consists of two, four, or more lanes built by charcoal and fused by cement concrete. Next is state highways. State highways are highways that connect with the national highways of neighboring states, district, district headquarters, and significant cities. State highways are usually roads that link important cities, towns, and district headquarters within state and connect them to national highways or state highways of neighboring state. Third would be major district roads or MDR. One of the most significant routes inside the area is the principal district roadways. It supports the manufacturing and market region by linking these locations to one another to the main roadway. Major district roads are important roads within the district, serving areas of production and markets and connecting these with each other or with the main highways. Next is other district roads or ODR. Other district roads connect major regions of production to market centers, headquarters, and block development headquarters, as well as train stations and other amenities. So this states that other district roads serve as an outlet for rural areas. With the help of these roads, transportation in rural areas, especially for the goods production to travel in market centers, will be realized. Lastly, village roads. Village roads are roads that connect villages or groups of villages to each other or to the nearest role of a higher category. So this just states that village roads is literally roads that connect the villages of a place and somewhat connects them to the nearest road of a higher category. So next topic would be modified classification of road system by Third Road Development Plan 1981 to 2001. So it is divided into three categories, which is the primary system, secondary system, and tertiary system, or rural roads. So for the primary system, it has two expressways and national highways. Expressways are special types of roadway with higher amenities and design requirements designed as through routes with large traffic volumes. So just like here in the Philippines, we have NLEX and SLEX expressways. They are superior type of highways and are designed for high speeds, high traffic volume, and safety. They are generally provided with grade separations at intersections, parking, loading, and unloading of goods, and pedestrian traffic is not allowed in expressways. It only has entrance and exit. And the other one will be national highways, as I said earlier. Secondary systems are the state highways and major district roads. Tertiary systems or rural roads are the other district roads and village roads. So the last topic would be classification of urban roads. So first is arterial roads. So these are roads that are for the heavy and important traffic inside the city, usually along the expressway, serving as principal network of a traffic flow. Parking, loading, and unloading would be prohibited in these types of roads. Pedestrians are allowed to cross only at intersections. Next would be subarterial roads. Less traffic than arterial streets. Pedestrians are allowed to cross only as well in the intersections like the arterial roads. So spacing here varies from 0.5 kilometers in central business areas to 3 to 5 kilometers in residential areas. Parking, loading, and unloading usually restricted and controlled. Third is collector streets. These streets are meant for collecting the traffic from local streets to arterial streets. So full access allowed from properties alongside. Situated in residential, commercial, industrial areas. Then few parking restrictions except for peak hours. Local streets. These are open access from residents, business, or other properties. Does not carry large volumes traffic and unrestricted parking and pedestrians allowed. So that would be all for the presentation. Thank you and have a nice day.